Welcome, everybody. Here we are with Hollywood Progressive, back with you again to talk about a play we saw this past Sunday, Whittier Boulevard, at the LA Theater Center, written and performed by the Latino Theater Company. It's set in a dystopian Los Angeles in 2042. Storms and shortages have disrupted the social fabric. So they have responded by killing off anybody who reaches, any unmarried person who reaches 75. They also impose the death penalty for cannabis use and homosexuality. As soon as the play ended, my two companions leaped to their feet. Why did you do that?
Well, there was so much about this play that I really appreciated. One of them was the way that they address social justice issues and the eroding away of our civil liberties. So even though this is a play that's set at some point in the future, and I can't remember if they talk about the date. They may have addressed the date, but it is taking place at some point in our future, and they suggest all of the ways that our civil liberties have been chipped away. For example, Dick, as you've already said, that homosexuality has been made illegal. So just the attacking of the LGBTQ plus community, just the ways in which we have lost the right to life even. But what I really liked about it, because we address this kind of stuff all the time in the LA Progressive, what I liked so much about this play is that they did it sort of tongue-in-cheek. So, I mean, there was a bit of comedy. It was a bit of lightness, if you can have lightness associated with death penalty for being a homosexual. But there was lightness to it, which made it easier to sit through and to think about what kind of future we might have if we don't deal with the stuff that we need to deal with right now. And so for that and for many other reasons, I really appreciated the play and really enjoyed it.
How about you?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. I really liked, yes, all those themes were fantastic. The story of the play, the tongue-in-cheek lightness that went with it. I really caught onto the physical representation of the play, how they actually presented the play. So they chose to have a more stylized, I think specifically they mentioned they called it Chicano noir film style. So they had these sort of moments where there'd be a dramatic head turn to face the audience and lighting would focus on them. And that sort of added to this lightness, this comedic sort of presentation of actually really, really heavy material. So that made it much more palatable. And the other thing that I really enjoyed was the set. So they didn't have any actual set changes. It was the same set from beginning, middle, and end. But with the lighting, with the projections that they displayed, with how everyone moved through the room, it had probably 10 or 12 different sort of unique spaces to it or stages to it. It was really, really interesting just how they could take such a simple, I think I can say it was basically a living room setup, but still have all these different spaces come out of it. It was really wonderful. Super, super light, like we said, but for such a dark potential outcome of our future with the way things are moving in our country. Not too terribly far-fetched, unfortunately, but it was able to take this heavy content and sort of add a spoonful of sugar to it, and just you happily it was very, very enjoyable, really fun, and the fact that it was called Whittier Boulevard, and I think my dad is going to talk more about this, was also really interesting because we all are aware of Whittier Boulevard living in Los Angeles, and just knowing the history that comes with it was powerful, really powerful.
Yeah, that's right. Many Angelenos will know what Whittier Boulevard signifies. But what it is post-World War II, it became a mecca for the Chicano community, and especially lowriders who would cruise their souped up vehicles up and down Whittier Boulevard, and still today do that. So that was the significance of that. Also, the LA Theater Center was founded in 1985 in an old bank building, has 5 theaters, really beautiful theaters, and it's designed to elevate the Latino community and other diverse communities. And in fact, all the actors and the director, Jose Luis Valenzuela, are founders of that LA Theater Center group, or the Latino Theater Center group. And their acting was kind of over the top. I mean, you would think it was especially poignant because it seems, this past week we've had several brutal multiple victim murders, and in a lot of ways, you got George Santos lying his way into Congress, and an ex-president convicted of sexual assault. It seems like our society is unraveling, and here it is, 20 years in the future when it's really unraveled, and it is interesting. I mean, it is comedic. It's over the top with the acting, and yet here what they're really talking about is if you're 75 and unmarried, you get killed.
Yeah.
If you're gay and you're caught, you're killed. If you smoke dope, you're killed. I mean, so the undercurrent of it is horrible, but it has this light touch and Chicano noir feel to it. I will say that most of the audience was Mexican American, Chicano, but it really applies to anyone.
Oh, so, yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you mentioned the who's starring in it.
Yeah,
I'll say Evelina Fernandez, Saul Lopez, Jeffrey Rivas, and Lucy Rodriguez. All 4 do a superb job. There was one thing that I thought about, and I haven't even talked about this with you two, is that you notice that once you hit 75, that's it. If you're not married, you're out of there. But the guy, the vato with, his little button up here in the shirt, nobody mentioned anybody killing him. It was just the woman. So do you just get killed if you're a woman and you're 75?
No, I think she was the Gloria Swanson in Sunset
Boulevard. So she was the Whittier Boulevard version of Gloria Swanson. But they didn't talk about, the guy that was trying to woo her.
Right.
He was the same age.
No, he wasn't quite. I mean, I think that was the thing. Nah, he wasn't quite there.
Younger, yeah.
So the character played by Evelina Fernandez is like the Gloria Swanson character in Sunset Boulevard, the fading actress who's hanging on to her past glories and convinced that she's going to get a big part here any day now. It was beautifully done. Any other thoughts, Nia?
Gosh. So sadly relevant, unfortunately, scarily relevant, eerily relevant. I did want to mention that they paid homage to, we weren't exactly sure who the people were, but I think you guys recognized some, but at the end, they had a display of Chicano activists, actors, politicians, anyone who's, active in the Chicano rights movement. Right. They had images of protests and things, really powerful. And it was
I remember seeing an image of Dolores Huerta, an image of Maria Elena Durazo, an image of Antonio Villaraigosa. So they had this montage that they projected onto all 3 walls, and it was really beautiful. And I don't know how many images there were, but those were the 3 that stuck out for me. And there were many, many more.
So it plays until May 28th. Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays at 8, and Sundays at 4. We do recommend it. Parking is easy. I will say, as we were walking up to the theater, it was, honest to God, with the homeless people and the little bit crazy people, it was like dystopian Los Angeles already,
Yeah, it's
to me.
I noticed that as well. Yeah,
and then
unhoused people.
Yeah, and then we went across the street to a restaurant, a new restaurant to us called Wolves, which was a lot of fun. Wolves, and we ordered charcuterie because that's a thing that we've come to like, and
escargot.
And escargot, yeah. Okay, well. So I think that's it. We see a play this Friday, we see a play this Sunday, and we'll be back.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
How do I stop it?
Press N.
I don't want to end it though.
Bye, Nia.
I'll cut it off.